This is Hall County Sports, brought to you by Green Ford on Browns Bridge Road in Gainesville. Check out the latest deals. Remember, when you go Green Ford. By Mountain View Auto Repair, a full-service shop for all of your automotive needs. Call Danny at Mountain View Auto Repair, 770-535-7278. And by McKelvey Road United Methodist Church. Visit us on McKelvey Road in Oakwood. With 3 worship services, Kids Town, and adult small groups, McKelvey Road United Methodist Church, dedicated to transforming the world through the good news of Jesus Christ. Hello again, everybody. Welcome to another edition of Hall County Sports Television. I'm your host, Gary Glenn. We've been away from our regular format for a while. We've got a lot of news to get to you, and believe it or not, we're going to start with football here as we get into late winter. As we told you recently, North Hall will have to make a coaching change in their head football ranks, as longtime boss Bob Christmas has taken a job back up in Virginia, where he has kids and grandkids and where he won state championships. Now, he had wanted longtime Trojan offensive coordinator Dave Bishop, who helped get the Trojans to the state semis a couple of times, to get the job, and that is just what has happened. They recently took the interim off his name, and they made Bishop the new head man. Well, I caught up with Dave earlier this week at North Hall. He's also just back from an FCA mission trip to Portugal, where he and Christmas and some other coaches from the area went to talk faith and football.
Dave, first of all, you've had a couple of weeks to kind of think about this. So has it all sunk in that now you're the head man?
Well, we talked about it this morning. Actually, not being in season, it is an awkward feeling, but at certain times, yeah, it does sink in, and other times you're just kind of, okay, it's kind of a surreal feeling, like this really isn't happening. But ultimately, you know, this week I've got a lot of meetings with other coaches and things, so I think it's going to start setting in a little bit more now.
What kind of changes can we expect from Bob Christmas to Dave Bishop, although you've kind of been one of his right-hand men now for these many years? Are you going to kind of tweak things a little bit?
Well, you know, just like even when Coach was here, you know, we're going to do some tweaking to the offense depending upon personnel, maybe some tweaks on defense. For the most part, I don't plan on changing anything. I want to use the same recipe that we've used for the last 13 years to have the success that we've had. And then as we kind of break out after this first year, I think we can kind of look into, okay, what do we want to do maybe a little bit differently?
Well, you know, the first man after the legend always gets a lot of heat one way or the other, and, you know, you graduate a lot of people too, so are you kind of prepared for all of that?
Well, you know, part of what Coach has instilled in me is really competitive nature over the years. And, you know, for me, looking at it from an outside perspective, saying, okay, we've got 9 seniors coming in, we have a new region, 9 out of 10 people we play, we're playoff teams. Most people are going to say, who wants that? But for me, I take it as a challenge, and for me, that's kind of exciting now to say, hey, let's go ahead and prove people wrong.
What can we expect to see next year out of the Trojans here?
In terms of you know, offensively, we're going to do the same thing. Defensively, we're going to do the same thing. We're just going to continue, like I said, the same exact things that got us where we're at. To be successful over the last 13 years of what you're going to see again this year.
Even though you've only been on the job a short time, what's been the difference of being the offensive coordinator now and the head guy? I guess a lot more paperwork, a lot more administrative stuff?
Yes. There's a lot of things that even as Coach told me. He said, look, there's some things that I can help you between now and the end of the year because he's not leaving. There's some things you're going to have to learn on your own. And, you know, so day by day I'm learning different things, and some things catch you by surprise, and I'm sure there'll be more in the future. So.
Before we get out of here, Dave, I want to talk to you a little bit because you and Bob and some of the rest of the coaches around the county went over to Portugal on a FCA mission trip. Tell me what you did over there and how that went.
Well, we really kind of partnered with a local missionary named Andy Milam. Andy's also a football coach for what we call a semi-pro team in Maya, Portugal. Their version of semi-pro is about a level of middle school, even though these are adults from 18 to about 41 that we've met people there. So we partnered with them, and we'd help them practice, and then we also put on a camp, football camp for 2 days on Saturday and Sunday, both in the morning and the evening session, and then also practice with that team again and had an opportunity to share the gospel with them through football.
What's the most interesting thing that you saw over there?
just their love for the sport. They just want to play American football, which is unusual because in European countries soccer is really the big thing. But these guys are all about American football. And the first thing I noticed the first night I was there was they had zero hand-eye coordination. They cannot catch a football, but if you throw anything out there, they can do anything with that football with their feet. So that was kind of interesting, but they want to learn, and that was really neat.
I bet you saw some interesting sights too. Probably old buildings and stuff like that. I mean, old things that have been around for hundreds of years.
Yeah, like we talked earlier this morning, the neatest thing I saw was a church that was built in 1100. We walked inside the church, but to think about, here's a church that's over 900 years old. Nothing in America is that old. It was built before Columbus sailed. So that was just amazing to me to see something that old. I've never experienced that in my life.
Probably a fulfilling experience too in a lot of ways.
Yes, and I'll be honest with you, we're all excited about opportunities in the future. This whole thing's starting to grow, and I know FCA with Clint and Jason, they're really excited about pairing with this group and expanding things in the future.
Well, I'll give you the last word here, Coach. What do you want to say to the fans out there for next year?
Hey, just jump on board like you've always been. We're excited about moving forward and being in a new region, meeting new opponents. Just Trojan football all the way.
Good luck, Dave.
Thank you.
Now, as for his staff, Dave Bishop says that is mostly in place, with just a few things left to decide. News from some state championships and the basketball playoffs when we come back.
Mountain View Auto Repair is your local full-service auto repair shop. Trusted with your vehicles for over 20 years, our experience will ensure that your vehicle will stay well-maintained year-round.
Mountain View Auto Repair is the place to bring your vehicle. They'll always treat you right. The service is good and the prices are very reasonable.
You can trust our experts in everything from transmissions to brakes to engine repairs and oil changes.
If you don't need the repairs, Danny's going to tell you. He does what he says he's going to do, and he'll make it right every time.
He takes patience and explains it so that I can understand. It's very easy for me to talk to Danny about a problem I think I have with my vehicle.
Go see Danny at Mountain View Auto Repair. He will treat you right.
We're back on the set of Hall County Sports Television. I'm Gary Glenn with Rob Bruce, the pastor of McKellar Road United Methodist Church here in Oakwood. And Rob, here at the church, got some things going on for the season of Lent.
That's right, Gary. Lent is an interesting time of the year. You know, we hear people always talking about wanting to give up stuff, but it's usually self-serving, I hate to say. They'll give up stuff like Brussels sprouts because they don't like them. Our sermon series, starting on Wednesday, March 5th, will be about giving up things we ought to be giving up, like expectations or control or enemies. And we invite you to join us starting Wednesday, March 5th, on through Easter, April 20th, for our sermon series entitled Giving Up Brussels Sprouts. We hope to see you.
All right, Rob, sounds good. We'll see you in church on Sunday.
Okay, Gary, see you later.
We're back. I'm Gary Glenn. This is Hall County Sports TV. Now, North Hall has made another splash at the state swimming championships, and the Powers brothers led the way again. Paul Powers, a Michigan signee, won his second straight state title in the 100-yard freestyle with a state record, an All-American time of 43.19. Later on, he teamed with brother Ty, David Schofield, and Stone Daniel to take the Trojans' second straight 200 freestyle relay gold medal. Ty won a gold of his own with an All-American time in the 50 free with a 20.59, and Paul Powers had won that event the past two seasons. Gainesville's Colin Monahan won the 100-yard breaststroke in 56.35, with Ty Powers finishing third there, also reportedly with an All-American time. Then Paul Powers finished second in the 100-yard backstroke. Monahan was second in the 200 individual medley, and the North Hall 200 medley relay team wound up fourth. Now, Riverside had Kevin Reel finish 8th in the 200 free and 11th in the 100 breaststroke. William Toth of the Eagles had a 15th place finish in the 100 free. Now, let's go back to North Hall, though. Earlier this week, I dropped by there to talk with their state champs, the Powers brothers, as well as David Schofield and Stone Daniel.
We have Stone Daniel and David Schofield and Ty Powers and Paul Powers, state champion swimmers. And first of all, guys, I want to talk to you about the experience at the state meet. I know it's not the biggest meet around, but it's a pretty cool thing. And Paul, since you're the only senior on the group, start off. Talk to me a little bit. You've been there before. You defended a state championship. So what was it like going back and doing that?
Going back, it's really fun going back, being the state champion, knowing that everyone's kind of gunning for your position. I mean, basically that's what everyone comes there to do, is to win the meet. So that's what I kind of went in as top dog, defending my position. I got it in one event, actually 2 events because of the relay, and almost had it in another event, the 100 back, got second. But it was right after my relay, so it's a little bit dead tired. But it was really fun going back to the meet, and as my last appearance and really giving it all that I had. Yeah,
and a good thing to get back there. Now, your brother here comes up, and he won the gold medal in what was your special at one time, right? The 50?
Yeah.
All right, Ty, talk to me about winning to that. That's good. State champion, nobody ever takes that away from you, man.
Yeah, well, it was a lot of fun. I mean, last year I had Paul to race. So this year was it was a lot different. I knew since he wasn't swimming it that I wouldn't really have anybody to race because he's always been that extra push for me. So this year was I did have Cash Deloach. He got second like a 20.6 or 7, something like that. So he was a pretty good partner to race. But I knew since Paul wasn't swimming it, we had to keep it in the Powers family name. So I figured I'd do it and pull out a gold for us. So.
All right. Let me talk to David and Stone here, guys. Now you guys coming on the relay team, and obviously you got a lot of power here. No pun, yes, pun intended, of course. But what's it like to be able to swim with these guys and knowing that you got to do your part as well, David?
Well, you know that you have to work a lot harder than you would normally, and you have to do a lot better than you would normally because you have them to look up to, and you have to compare yourself to them. So you have to be a lot better than the average swimmer. So.
Yeah, and Stone, it's just, I guess, who swam anchor? Paul?
I swam anchor.
You swam anchor, okay. So they give you the lead, now you got to hold it, right?
Yeah, that was really, really nerve-wracking. I think that's probably the only time that I can remember, like, genuinely being nervous about anything in my entire life. And it was awesome. I mean, like...
Yeah, it's got to feel good when you touch and bring it home, huh?
Yeah, it was amazing.
Guys, I want to talk to you a little bit, too, about the kind of legacy you guys have established now in swimming here in the county. Colin Monahan over at Gainesville also won a state championship, I think, right?
Yeah, 100 breast, right?
100 breast, yeah. And,
Yeah.
Okay. So let's talk to me about how swimming has progressed. Paul, you're the oldest, so we'll go back to you, in the county at least.
Yeah, I've seen it grow like exponentially since I started swimming in the 8th grade. I got to swim exhibition, and it was just kind of like, I wouldn't say a joke, but it was really, really small. I mean, the participation in swimming was really small, and it was kind of like people were asking me when I was a freshman at North Hall, we have a swim team? Like, nobody even knew we had a swim team. So I've seen it grown a lot. Like, pretty much everyone at the school knows about our swim team now, and I've seen like club teams grow. I've seen our club team that we put together about 3 years ago. It's been growing. All the Hall County schools have pretty much been growing in swimming, or those that have a swim team. I've seen some, like some of the Forsyth schools. They're not exactly in our county, but they've been growing. They've been some of them even started a swim team since I've been in high school, and I've seen it grow a lot. Competition's gotten a lot stiffer. There's a lot of Riverside kids. There's a lot more state participation at the state meet from Hall County.
And guys, I talked to you at the Hall County meet, Ty,
Yeah,
and there was a big crowd there, big crowd on hand, a lot of swimmers, a lot of parents and supporters. That's got to kind of make you feel pretty good, as well as stimulate you to get better because you got more competition.
Yeah, it was. It was a really exciting meet. I mean, since Paul wasn't able to swim, we didn't have our relays or anything, but I did win the 200 free, and then I disqualified, so David won the 50 free.
There you go.
That was really exciting for him. It was good for him too. But yeah, I mean, Hall County is probably like one of the funnest meets we have all year, just because all the people that are there, and I mean, it's just like a kind of like bragging rights, I'd say. At Hall, just like state meet is all bragging rights.
Yeah. So what? Now, I know Paul's a senior. You guys are you all juniors?
Yeah.
All juniors. Okay. So coming back. All right, David. Is there pressure coming back now? You got this state championship on your back now.
Yeah. I don't think we're gonna win it again, but we could come close. We'll definitely get in finals, A, B finals next year.
What got you interested in swimming, though?
Well, to be completely honest, partially Paul, but mostly I really didn't want to do Boy Scouts anymore. My parents said, you got to pick something up if you quit Boy Scouts. And so I just chose swimming, and it was the greatest decision of my life.
Yeah, I really enjoy it now, huh? All right, what attracts you to the sport? Dave?
Well, mine was like the same thing as him. I was going to quit football. My parents said you had to do some sport, so chose swimming, and I was better at it than football, so I stayed with it.
There you go. All right. So next year, Ty, coming back, what do you figure?
I mean, Paul was the only one under 20 point in our relay, so I don't think we're going to have as strong as a relay next year unless somebody comes over or some freshman comes up. That's highly unlikely. But we'll still, we'll still win some individuals. We'll still have a good relay with these two. They're still really strong swimmers, so we'll still do really good with them on the relay. But nothing is majorly. This was probably our best year we had.
And before we get out of here, I got to ask you about going to Michigan now. You excited about that?
Oh yeah, most definitely.
Yeah.
It's I think it'll be fun. Like, it's college experience. I mean, I'm just going in for the fun. I mean, I know that it's going to be a lot of fun with different coaches. It's a whole different, college swimming's a whole different level than high school swimming. So I think that it'll definitely be a lot of fun to go and get to experience.
Any international aspirations?
Definitely this summer we have nationals, which picks our Pan Pac and World Championship teams. I'm trying to get on the 4x100 free relay, get to go to Australia for Pan Pacs, and then World Championship team. That hasn't been decided yet, the location, but that'll definitely be cool because this past year I only got to go on the Junior World team and the Junior World Cup team, but this year I'm trying to get on the actual national team. So if I can do that, it'll put me in a really good spot to be set up for the Olympics in 2016 Rio.
Wow, great. Guys, congratulations, state champions, and good luck to you in the future.
Thank you.
Paul Powers, you may remember, competed in Dubai last year. Now, let's turn to wrestling. No state champs from Hall County, as the traditional state wrestling championships were contested at various locations around the state. But we did have a number of silver and bronze medalists. Just down the road in Beaufort, where the homestanding Wolves won the AAA traditional team title to go with their dual meet championship from a few weeks ago. North Hall's Caleb Hamilton at 120 pounds and Michael Crew at 132 finished second, with Taylor Merritt third at 113 pounds. West Hall had Elliott Rayford finish as runner-up at 152 pounds, while East Hall placed Edward Vergara third at 152 and Tyler Thomas third at 182. And our congratulations to former Johnson coach Doug Thurman. His Jefferson Dragons just won their 14th straight traditional state title when they took the AA crown. Earlier this year, they won the duels again. And in fact, in whatever class they've been in, the Dragons have swept the duels and traditionals for these many years. Can you say dynasty? All right, let's go back and talk a little bit about basketball. We had two of our teams enter the basketball playoffs as region champions and #1 seeds, both on the 8-4A side. Tyler Bennett hit a layup with 19 seconds left to give the Chestatee girls the first region basketball title in school history as they beat Eastside 51-50, just edged them out. Their 24th win, the most in school history. The Johnson boys beat Eastside 88-67 to avenge a regular season loss to the Eagles and claim their second straight region crown. However, when they got to the state tournament, it was one and done for the Chestatee Lady War Eagles as they were upset by Grady 55-51. Region Player of the Year Bridget Kelly had 5 three-pointers and led the team with 18 points. Johnson's boys, though, lived to fight another day as they won their first-round match 83-71 over Stone Mountain. It was the Knights' 9th straight win. Rod English hit for a season-high 24 points in that one. Ty Cockfield added 21, and James Hodges put in 20. At the start of the week, the teams left alive from Hall County in the state basketball tournament were the Knights, the East Hall boys, who beat Ringgold in the first round, the East Hall girls, who upset North Murray, and the Lakeview girls, who got into the private school playoffs on the power rankings thing that they do. Some other basketball news for you. After a couple of losing seasons, Corey Bays is out as the Johnson girls basketball coach. His best season there was 2010-2011 when they were 15-12. I'm back with the Steelworkers in just a moment. Welcome back to the show, everybody. I'm Gary Glenn. That was a day of mixed reviews for the Georgia Iron Dogs at their season opener Saturday at the Paul Anderson Howard Cohen Weightlifting Center in Savannah. Now, the Dogs would come home with a lot of first places as well as 3 Best Lifter awards and national and world records, but would be denied the push-pull, that's a combination of bench press and deadlift, would be denied the push-pull overall team title at the inaugural American Powerlifting Committee or APC International Iron Dog Cup. The meet featured competition in push-pull as well as bench press and deadlift-only classes in both the equipped and raw or unequipped divisions. Now, I'm a member of the Iron Dogs, as a lot of you know, and unfortunately we had one of our starters not get in a lift in the bench press portion of the push-pull meet. Now, that's a killer in a powerlifting meet because it knocks him out of the whole meet. Unless your opponents have something similar happen, it's impossible to win because his scoring is completely taken away. Now, stuff happens. There's always next time. Coastal Georgia Powerlifting, by the way, captured the team championship. Now, Iron Dogs Tyler Cummings of Cumming, Georgia, and Gary Hatfield of Gainesville came home with Best Lifter awards. Cummings, who's a North Forsyth alumnus, had a best bench press of 200 kilograms. That's 440.92 pounds. He had a deadlift of 312.5 kg, or 688.94 pounds, to open, and total of 512.5 kilogram, or 1,129.86 pounds, to win the gold medal in the men's junior open raw 110 kilogram weight class. Weight class is about 242.5 pounds. And he took the raw best lifter award in men's push-pull. Hatfield, who is a North Hall grad and the Brenau University strength and assistant softball coach, took the men's equipped best lifter awards in push-pull and bench only, with his lifts of 250 kilos, or that's 551.15 pounds, and both lifts, both in the bench and the deadlift, did the same thing. And that was a 500 kilogram total, or 1,102.3 pounds. Now, one of the newest Iron Dogs is Marcel Allen of Forsyth County, who's a former Jefferson wrestler who also helps own and manage the Dogs' home gym, Iron Beast Barbell, in Gainesville. Allen set world marks in the 90 kilogram weight class, the 198.41 pound raw men's open class, in bench press when he benched 180 kilograms, that's 396.83, and total of 430, or 947.98 pounds. Now, on a fourth lift, which does not figure into the official total, he almost pulled a world record deadlift, 275.5 kilograms, or 607.37 pounds, only to have it slip out of his grip at the top when he felt his right hamstring start to go. Well, that lift was disallowed by the judges, and he finished with a deadlift of 250 kg. He's a bodybuilder most of the time, but he was coached into doing his first powerlifting meet in about 7 years, and Marcel was mostly pleased with the outcome.
You know, besides the injury, I came here to do what I wanted to do. I wanted to be able to pull over 540. I did that. I wanted to be able to push close to 4. I did that. So, you know, other than a slight injury, I did pretty good.
Now, as you get ready for the bodybuilding thing in about 2.5, 3 weeks from now, how do the lifts complement one another, or is it a tough thing to do powerlifting and bodybuilding other than the dietary requirements?
More than anything, it's the diet that's different. Me being the kind of person that I am, I have to do very minimal carb to no carbs, high protein, high fat diets in order to lose the fat that I need to for bodybuilding. But the lifts stay the same. I still do deadlifts, still do bench and squat, so the exercises stay the same, just a few complementary exercises to accent the smaller muscles, but the bigger muscles still the same, still heavy.
How did you get into weight training? High school athletics?
I was a wrestler to begin with. Never lifted a weight a day in my life until I walked into Fitness Factory in Jefferson, Georgia, and Al Hunter said, "Hey, you got a great physique. You need to get into bodybuilding." And I was like, okay. So started lifting weights, responded well. Did my first bodybuilding competition in 2006. That year I did a powerlifting meet and didn't do so well in that, so I chose bodybuilding instead. But years later, I'm stronger. I'm leaner and bigger than I was then, so I tried it out this time around and it went pretty well.
So what's up now? What's next? I guess the bodybuilding thing, right?
Bodybuilding 3 weeks, Mr. Atlanta. We'll see how that goes.
All right. Good luck.
Now, Allen, by the way, says he still has to drop 10 pounds to get ready for the Mr. Atlanta contest in 3 weeks, and he's urging all of his supporters to bring brownies for the post-contest celebration. He's tired of dieting. Also setting world marks across the board for this Iron Dog team in this meet was Eastman's Tony Braswell. Had a bench of 272.5 kg, or 600.75 pounds, deadlift of 275 kilos, 606.27 pounds, and his total of 547.5 kilograms, 1,207.02 pounds. He won the men's open equipped 140 kilogram weight class. That's the 308.64 pound class. Now, yours truly managed to establish world records for push-pull for a win in the Raw Masters men's 55-59-year-old 90 kilo weight class. Had a bench press of 142.5, that's 314.16 pounds. Deadlift of 150 kilograms, 331.69, and a total 292.5 or 644.85 pounds. Now on the fourth bench press, I increased the record to 145 kilograms or 319.67 pounds. Now I did have to drop my third deadlift as I tried 170 kilos or 374.78 pounds. I tweaked my left hamstring. Now, I hadn't done a competitive deadlift in years, mainly because of my left hip surgery. My left hip's mostly titanium now. I had some dehydration issues and just made too big a jump between the second and third deadlifts, although I'd pulled it in the gym. Also kind of ironic that a couple of ex-Jefferson wrestlers both had hamstring issues in this particular meet. All right, now, Canton's Jason Banks also joined the Iron Dogs for this meet, and he had an American record deadlift of 300 kilograms. That's about 661.38 pounds. And that, along with his bench press of 182.5 kilos or 402.34 pounds, and a total of 1,063.72 pounds, 482.5 kilograms, that got Jason the push-pull championship of the 125 kilo. That's the Raw men's open class, that weight class, a little under 276 pounds. Palm Harbor, Florida's Uwe Thorman took gold for the Dogs in the push-pull Raw Masters men's 55-59 110 kilo weight class at a bench of 286.6 pounds, a deadlift of 440.92, and a total of 727.52 pounds. Now competing in bench only on the day were veteran Iron Dogs George Bradley of Gainesville and Andy Williamson of Winterville in the Masters men's classes of 67.5 kilograms and 110 kilos respectively. George, lifting in the 148.81 pound class, won the 55-59 class in the equipped weight division. He pushed 100 kilos even, 220.46 pounds. And Andy Williamson won the raw 45-49 class with a press of 137.5 kilograms on the bench. That's a little over 303 pounds. All right, a lot of the Iron Dogs will compete next in Gainesville for a World United Amateur Powerlifting meet March 29th at Iron Beast Barbell. I'm back to wrap it up in just a moment.
There are moments in life that you wish would last forever. Dreams that really do come true. Treasures worth protecting. And a future to prepare for. Turner Wood & Smith is with you every step of the way. Established in the Gainesville area in 1905. Turner Wood & Smith has become Northeast Georgia's largest independent insurance agency by offering professional service at competitive prices. Turner Wood & Smith, insuring your future since 1905.
Gary Glenn back to wrap it up this week on Hall County Sports TV. Some more signings for our local youngsters from East Hall football. Coach Brian Gray and his staff will send Travis Foster to LaGrange University and Milton Welchel to Lenore-Ryan University. Over at Johnson, different kind of football. Johnson soccer player Chandler Steele has signed on with Oklahoma Christian University. Well, the Bernal Golden Tigers are making an impact on the national rankings in 3 different sports. The swimming Tigers were rated number 4 in a recent poll, while the tennis team is also ranked in the top 10 at number 6 in the preseason poll, and the softball team checks in at number 17 in the preseason rankings. Congrats to Gainesville discus thrower Colton Quinones. In the Red Elephants' season opener at Winder, Colton broke a 66-year-old Gainesville high record by 10 feet. The new mark, 157 feet on that discus throw. Not too bad. The West Hall and North Hall boys soccer teams squared off in the finals of the Northeast Georgia Mountains Cup, and it would be the Spartans taking a 1-0 win on penalty kicks to win the championship. Congratulations to former Gainesville High quarterback Deshaun Watson, now at Clemson University. Deshaun, the record-setting signal caller for the Red Elephants, made Parade Magazine's prestigious All-America list as an honorable mention. He was also featured in a recent issue of Sports Illustrated when they talked recruiting. And finally, the McEver Road United Methodist Men's Annual Golf Tournament will be contested this year, April 19th at Mossy Creek near Cleveland. Once again, people who played on this one really like it. Now, the teams have lots of food and prizes and goodie bags. It's only $200 a team, $50 a man, and that covers everything. Your green fees, the cart, and all that stuff. If you are a golfer, you want to get in on this one, you can call Lloyd Smee at 770-967-3206. If you're interested, proceeds will benefit the missions of the United Methodist Men of McEver Road United Methodist Church. And our thanks to the Times and Access North Georgia once again for some of the information on this show. I'm Gary Glenn. Join us next week right here for more Hall County Sports. Hall County Sports is brought to you in part by Green Ford on Browns Bridge Road in Gainesville. Check out the latest deals. And remember, when you go Green Ford. By Mountain View Auto Repair, a full-service shop for all of your automotive needs. Call Danny at Mountain View Auto Repair at 770-535-7278. and by McKelvey Road United Methodist Church. Visit us on McKelvey Road in Oakwood with 3 worship services every Sunday morning, Kids Town and adult small groups. McKelvey Road United Methodist Church is dedicated to transforming the world through the good news of Jesus Christ.